Santo. Amen. Amang mahabagin, tanging bukal ng buhay at pag-asa, kami ay naninikluhod at nagsusumamo sa iyo upang hilingin ang iyong paglingap laban sa karamdamang nagpapahirap sa marami at kumitil na ng maraming buhay. Dinggin mo po kami ng may pagmamahal. Ipag-adyam po sa amin ang iyong mapaghilom na mga kamay upang kami ay maibsan mula sa pangamba ng kamatayan at karamdaman. Bigyang lakas kami ng pag-asa at pananalig sa iyo. Naway iyong alalayan ang mga nasa medisina at tumutuklas ng lunas sa karamdamang ito. Bigyan niyo sila ng katatagan at kadalisayan ng kaisipan upang maging wasto ang kanilang paglikha ng mga lunas. Sa mga lumilingap at mga nag-aalaga sa mga dinapuan ng karamdaman, naway manatili silang malusog at masigla ang pangangatawan upang sila'y maglingkod ng ibayo at ng may pagmamahal. Panginoon, nawa ang mga nasa banig ng karamdaman, nawa sila'y manatiling nananalig at umaasa ng lunas mula sa iyo. At sa mga pumanaw, naway kanilang kamtin ang buhay na walang hanggan. Pagkalooban mo po kami ng biyaya at pagkakawang gawa at pagtutulong-tulong upang ang nararanasan naming ito ay magbigay sa amin sa pagbukal ng kagandahang loob para maglingkod at ang may pagpapakabanal. Hinihiling namin ito sa pamamagitan ni Jesucristo na nabubuhay at naghahari, kasama mo at ng Espiritu Santo magpa sa walang hanggan. Amen. Sa ngalan ng Ama at ng Anak at ng Espiritu Santo.
Is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow. bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu, kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa teleradyo. bit.ly/ORV
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon, magkahatid sa kakibat ay diskusyon. Sama-sama tayo, kahit magkalayo. Sa programang ito, tiyak ang pagkatuto. Teleradyo, teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, teleradyo Marcelo. Teleradyo, teleradyo Marcelo.
Hello, good morning. Magandang buhay, Del Pilarens. Welcome to another episode of Mathematics 9, ang Teleradyo Marcelo. Ang teleralan ng bawat malilenyo. Once again, ako po si Sir Marlon Atienza, your teacher broadcaster for today. Teacher romantiko na, broadcaster pa. So I would like to thank God first for the blessings He's giving to us, especially po sa pag-iingat po niya sa atin, especially sa panahon po ng pandemic ngayon. Okay, for today's episode, we'll be discussing the quarter 4 or week 3 to 5 of the present school year 2020 to 2021. So here are the content standards, performance standards, and the most essential learning competencies of today's lesson. For the content standard, the learner demonstrates understanding of the basic concepts of trigonometry. For the performance standards, the learner is able to apply the concepts of trigonometric ratios to formulate and solve real-life problems with precision and accuracy. And for the most essential learning competencies, the learner solves right triangles. Okay, again mga learners, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Facebook page, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat malilenyo. So, what's our topic for today? Okay, so you may type your comments, answers on the chat box, mga anak. So for today, we'll be discussing solving right triangles given 3 different cases. First, given the length of the hypotenuse and measure of one acute angle. Next, given the length of one leg and the measure of one acute angle. And third, given the length of 2 legs. Okay. So mga grade 9 learners, mga malilenyo, mga Del Pilarians, so ano pa po hinihintay natin? Let's get it on! So tara na po matuto. Okay, as a review of the past lesson, let's answer this activity named backward. I'll be presenting multiple choice questions. So of course, again, please comment your answers on the chat box. So let's start, mga Del Pilarians, malilenyo. Okay. What's the value of tangent 56 degrees? Again, what is the value of tangent 56 degrees? Is it A, 1.483, B, 1.484, C, 1.485, or D, 1.486? So, A, B, C, or D. Pili na po tayo. Okay, so ayan po. So, wait po natin ang comments po ng ating mga Del Pilarians. So, si Rain Mendoza, si Jelaine, nagsabi na po ng sagot. So, according to them, same with Christian, Justin, Sarmiento, Crystal. So, ayan po. It seems ang dami pong gising na talaga po sa ating mga grade 9 learners. So, thank you for your time po sa panonood. And yan po, puro letter A sagot. Let's check their work. Okay, the correct answer is A. That's 1.483. So palakpakan po natin ang ating mga grade 9 learners. Okay, please don't forget to check the mode of your calculator to degree mode. So by the way po, before you continue answering the questions, okay? So let's have the next question. What is the value of sine 48 degrees? Is it A, 0.4743, B, 0.742, C, 0.744, or D, 0.745? Again, what's the value of sine 48 degrees? Okay, so yan po. So let's wait for the answers of the students po natin. So ayan, nagsasagot ulit po sila. Doreen, Jelene, Nina, Christian, Crystal, Nikki, Lauren. Okay, so very good po. So ang dami pong nagpa-participate for the day. So that's great. So good job mga Delpilarians. So the answer is letter A for this second question. So let's check if tama po yung sagot nila. Okay, the correct answer is, okay, very good. That's letter A, 0.743. So once again, palakpakan po natin ang ating mga grade 9 learners na nagpa-participate po at mga nanonood po for today's episode. Okay, for the third question. Which value of theta in the nearest minute will satisfy the equation cosine theta is equal to 0.625? Again, which value of theta in the nearest minute will satisfy the equation cosine theta is equal to 0.625? Is it A, 51 degrees and 20 minutes? B, 51 degrees and 19 minutes? C, 38 degrees and 24 minutes? Excuse me po. Or D, 38 degrees and 23 minutes? Okay, so once again, A, B, C, or D. Pili na po kayo. So yan. So, Karen, Nina, Jelaine. So sa mga hindi po nababasa, pasensya na po, medyo matulin po ang ating chat. But again, so much. So so ating mga teachers ang inyo pong pagpa-participate. So lahat sila ang sagot ay letter B. So yan. So let's check if tama po ang sagot ng ating mga learners. Okay, the correct answer is B. That's 51 degrees and 19 minutes. Okay, so very good po. It seems na talaga pong natutunan po ng ating mga grade 9 learners ang ating pong discussion po last meeting. Okay. So let's continue. For the fourth question, same question po again, nearest minute po ito. Which value of theta will satisfy the equation sine theta is equal to 0.307? Again, which value of theta will satisfy the equation sine theta is equal to 0.307? So again, in nearest minute po. Is it A, 52 degrees and 52 minutes? B, 52 degrees and 8 minutes? C, 17 degrees and 7 minutes? Or D, 17 degrees and 53 minutes? A, B, C, or D. Pili na po kayo. Yan, so seems na dami na pa rin pong nagpa-participate. So keep on typing your comments, suggestions, answers on the chat box. Okay, so check po natin. Okay, so yan po, may mga sumasagot po. So according to Rain, Clarence, Marian, Nina, Jonel. So dami pong nagsasagot. The answer is letter D daw. Let's check. Okay, tama po sila. The answer is letter D. That's 17 minutes and 17 degrees and 53 minutes. So it seems na pag Friday, masarap siguro ang almusal talaga ng ating mga grade 9 learners. So they are active. So siguro po yung kinain nila sa almusal ang sikreto, kaya po very active ang ating mga mahal na grade 9 learners po today. Okay, let's have the last question for the review activity. Okay, look at this illustration. Which of the following is not a missing part of the right triangle GAS? Again, which of the following is not a missing part of the right triangle GAS. So looking at illustrations, again, two sides of the right triangle are given. So ano kaya po ang tamang sagot? Okay, the choices will be A, angle G, B, segment AG, C, angle A, or D, angle S. Again, A, angle G, B, segment AG, C, angle A, or D, angle S. A, B, C, or D. Pili na po uli kayo. Okay, so according to Ibes, Christian, so the answer is letter C. Same with Isabel, Crystal, Sean, Jelaine. So yan, very good po sa mga sumasagot. Siguro naman po makakita rin ako ng mga sumasagot coming from my sections. Okay. So the answer is puro letter C. So I guess tama po tayo lahat siguro, no? Pero anyway, to confirm that, check po natin tamang sagot po dito. Okay, the answer is letter C. That's angle A. So although wala pong given po na figure or number on that angle A, but because of that symbol, that yung parang small square po, it means that it is equal to 90 degrees already. So very good po. Palakpakan po ulit natin ang mga grade 9 learners natin for today for participating for the review activity. So again, so thank you so much for that. And sana po tuloy-tuloy lang po natin ang ating pagpa-participate hanggang matapos po ang ating teleradyo for the whole day. Hindi lang po ngayong umaga, hindi lang po sa time ng math. So again, sabi ko nga po sa inyo, every time na tayo po ay nagdi-discuss, ang gambot po sa kalimot ay paalala. So baka po meron pa po tayong mga classmates or friends na hindi pa po nagsasubscribe or nagla-like, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Ang Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Malulenyo. Okay. So let's start our discussion with the first situation on solving right triangles. Okay. First one is solving right triangles given the length of the hypotenuse and the measure of one acute angle. Okay. So in this situation po, of course, it will be useful for you, especially again mga learners, if you really master the last topic, because it will be a big help po. Kasi lalo na po yung paggamit po natin ng calculator. So before we continue nga, sige nga po, let me see. Kung may natutunan po talaga tayo sa ating review activity po, will you comment your name of the advisor po on the chat box? So may I see po? Will you comment the name of your advisor sa chat box? Para po makita rin ng ating mga advisors, tayo po ay present for today's episode of Teleradyo Marcelo. Okay, so yan po, check po natin if sino po ang mga magta-type. Pakita po natin ang name ng ating section at ng ating advisor. Okay, so yan po, nanonood na po ang estudyante ni Sir Crispin T. Bantog. So yan po si Rain. So nag-comment na po. Who else? May I see? Again, please comment the name of your advisor po. So para po makita, ma-check din po natin ma-check po ng ating mga advisors ang ating pong attendance or ang ating presence for today's episode. Yan po. Yan. So, yan po si Mama Agma, Sir Arnold po. Yung mga advisors po yun ng mga estudyante po natin. So, Sir Akiko po, yan po, nandiyan na rin po ang kanyang mga estudyante. Estudyante rin po ni Ma'am Joy. Kasama po namin sa math. Okay, so yan po. Estudyante rin po ni Ma'am Jirina Manalaysay Cruz. So, it seems na talaga pong marami po ang present for today's episode. So, okay. So, let's continue po ang ating discussion. Okay. Again, so for this first topic, solving right triangles, given the length of the hypotenuse and the measure of one acute angle. Okay. So, look at this illustration. So, what did you notice on the illustration po? Excuse me po. So, the right triangle ABC at F has the segment AC as its hypotenuse and angle C as its one acute angle. Okay. Now, so from this illustration po, mga grade 9 learners, especially sa mga nanonood po nating mga estudyante, Okay, pati po sa mga buong malulenyong nanonood po sa ating teleradyo po for today, can you tell the missing parts of this right triangle? Again, so from this illustration, and given the segment AC, which is the hypotenuse, and angle C as one of the acute angles, can you tell us, will you comment your answers po on the chat box, what are the missing parts of this right triangle? Okay, so tingnan po natin. So from this illustration po, ayan po, so ang dami na po nagko-comment ng sagot. So it seems na talagang they really mastered the previous lesson po. So the missing parts of this are the segment AB, the segment BC, and the angle A. Okay, so so ayan po, may mga nagko-comment po ng sagot nila. Thank you for the participation po talaga. So very appreciated po mga anak yung ating pong pagko-comment sa chat box ang sagot po natin. Okay. Now, to determine its missing parts, so to determine the missing parts of any right triangle, mga anak, remember that a triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Again, meron tayong 3 sides and 3 angles. So look at the table below. So from the 3 sides, given, of course, the sides are the segment AC, the segment AB, and the segment BC. Okay, and from this, from the previous illustration, the hypotenuse is already given, which means the 2 legs are missing. And from the 3 angles, A, B, and C, so the given angles are, of course, the angle C, which is the right angle, and definitely the right angle B. Okay, so the missing angle is one of the acute angles. So in this situation, in this case, the missing parts are the 2 legs of the right triangle and it's one acute angle. Okay, so again, so given class, ang hypotenuse at yung isang acute angle po niya, so the missing parts will be the 2 legs and one acute angle po. Okay, for us to really understand this first situation, let's have an illustrative example, definitely, para mas madali po nating matutunan. Okay, so ayan po. Thank you for the comments of your answers. So tama po tayo that the missing parts are the angle A, the segment AC, and AB. Okay, so very good po. It seems na talagang marami pong nakapagsasagot na po ng ating topic. So it seems na kahit po hindi pa po na-discuss yung ating mga lessons, so talagang ang mga grade 9 learners natin po, grade 9 learners, ang mga 10 pillars po natin, so nag-advance study na. So it only shows na talaga pong even may pandemic po, hindi po nito mahadlangan yung ating, of course, yung interest po o yung kagustuhan po nating matuto. So for that, Del Pilarens, okay, saludo po ako dyan. Now, so for this illustration, for this example, look at this. So given that the right triangle QSR, where angle S is the right angle. Now, so let's identify the given. Aside from the angle S, what are the other given parts of this right triangle? Okay, so of course, based on the illustration, the given parts are the side S, which is equal to 28 degrees, and that is the hypotenuse. The angle, measure of angle Q, which is equal to 40 degrees. And of course, that's one of the acute angles. Now, so the missing parts are, sabi nga natin kanina, the missing parts will be one acute angle and the 2 legs. So what are these? So the missing parts are the measure of the angle R, the measure of side R, and the measure of side Q. So again, so hope po na nagets po natin yung first given po natin. So from the illustration, so sana po it's very clear sa atin how did we identify the given parts and the missing parts of this first illustration natin. Okay, so let's continue mga anak. So let's solve this one by one, yung missing parts. First, solving for the value of the angle R. Yan, so unahin po natin. Let's solve for the measure of angle R. To find the measure of angle R, remember that the 2 acute angles of a right triangle are complementary. So what does it mean? So it means that the sum is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so ayan po. So Crystal already gave us the answer for the measure of angle R. So very good, tama po siya. So for us to get the measure of angle R, remember that the sum of the angle R and angle Q is equal to 90 degrees since they are complementary. So using properties of equality, it means that the measure of angle R can be computed through or by subtracting the measure of angle Q from 90 degrees. So therefore, 90 degrees minus 40 degrees will give us 50 degrees. So 50 degrees is the value of the angle R. So very good po sa mga sumasagot, especially for Crystal, Christian, Rain Mendoza. Okay. So actually nakakatawa na kahit hindi pa po natin i-represent yung yung sagot sa ating o yung solution sa ating slide. Okay, so very good po. At least alam po nila agad paano i-solve. So again, for that, palakpakan po natin ang ating mga grade 9 learners. Okay, so I hope gets po sa atin or clear po sa atin yung pag-solve po ni angle R. So it seems na marami po ang nag-comment ng sagot. Okay, now let's have the next part. So how to solve for the measure of or for the length of side R? Okay. For us to solve side R, by looking at the figure again, side R is adjacent to the given acute angle, which is angle Q. Again, side R is adjacent to angle Q, and side S is a hypotenuse. So for us to solve side R, so from the three fundamental trigonometric functions, so we can use the acronym K, which stands for the cosine is equal cosine adjacent hypotenuse. So for us to solve side R, so we can use the acronym K, CAH, which stands for cosine adjacent hypotenuse. So remember that. So from here, so we have three choices po. So it's recalling the acronym SOHCAHTOA. Okay, sana po natatandaan po natin mga anak ang ating SOHCAHTOA. So si Crystal again gave us the answer. Same with Rain, Marian. So according to them, the answer is 21.45. So tingnan po natin if tama ang sagot ng ating mga grade 9 learners. Okay, so again, sabi nga po natin, cosine Q is equal to adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. So replacing adjacent by side R and hypotenuse by side S. And then, of course, replacing the side Q, the angle Q, and side S by 40 degrees and 28 respectively. So what will be the value of side R? So using the property of equality, which is the MPE or the multiplication property of equality, so we can convert it into R is equal to 28 times the cosine 40 degrees. And it will give us 21.45. So very good po sa ating mga grade 9 learners na nagbibigay po ng sagot. Okay. So again, I hope clear po sa atin yung ating pong second part po ng first situation natin. Okay. Then for the last missing part, which is the side Q. Sabi po naman dito, again, by looking at the figure uli, side Q is now the opposite of angle Q. And again, side S is still the hypotenuse. So from SOHCAHTOA, for us to solve Q, so we can use the SO, which stands for the sine opposite hypotenuse, since the given parts are the opposite and hypotenuse. Okay. Now, so yan po. So again, sine Q is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, where sine Q is equal to Q over S by replacing the opposite and hypotenuse respectively. So again, using the given based on the illustration, we can convert this into sine 40 degrees is equal to Q over 28. So still using the multiplication property of equality, so we can convert this into U is equal to 28 times sine 40 degrees. Okay. Now, so simplifying them, so it will give us the answer of 18. Okay. So based on this, the side Q is equal now to 18. So again, ayan po. So we already identify ano ba yung value ng ating missing parts. So the missing parts, remember, are the angle R, the side R, and side Q. Okay, so again, so very good po sa mga nagpa-participate po. Ayan, si Crystal again, Nina, Marian, Eliza, Alessandra. So their answers are, lahat po ay 18 degrees. So thank you for the answers po. So palakpakan po natin ulit ang mga grade 9 learners po, ang ating mga participants na nagbibigay po ng kanilang sagot. Okay, there you have it po. So we're done with the first example po natin on the first situation po. But again, mga Del Pilarians, Maluleño, please don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Facebook page, ang Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maluleño. Okay, so let's practice po. Okay, so let's practice again kung natutunan ba talaga natin yung ating first example. But before that, I would like to see if you really understand yung aking diniscuss po on the first few slides natin. Please comment the name of your math teacher naman. So let me see. Okay, so can I ask the grade 9 learners po natin for them to comment the name of their math teachers? Yan po. May makikita kaya ako magta-type ng name ko. Sige po, let me see. So once again, so please comment the name of your math teacher po if you really understand the topic po natin o yung ating mga first few slides kanina. Yan po. Ay naku. Thank you so much po sa unang nag-chat ng pangalan ng teacher po. Thank you so much po. Dahil dyan, hindi ka mawawalan. Pero magkakaroon ka. Yan. Very good. So yan din po. So nandiyan din po, nanonood din po ang mga estudyante po ni Ma'am Joy, ni Ma'am Grace. So ayan, huwag kayong mag-alala mga anak, hindi kayo mawawalan po dahil po kayo ay active. Pero kayo po ay magkakaroon naman. So ayan, nandiyan na rin po ang mga estudyante ni Ma'am Riza. Yan po, estudyante ko po ulit. Okay, so thank you for the time na panonood po ninyo. Okay. So let's continue. Yan po, estudyante ni po ni Sir Chris, nanonood na rin po. Talaga pong never pong nawala ang mga estudyante po ni Sir Chris sa ating teleradyo po. Okay, let's continue. So for this set of questions naman, of course, I would like to see if you really understand the topic kanina. So it's your turn. Kayo naman po yung mag-solve. Okay? Now, solve the right triangle ABC if the given parts are angle A, which is equal to 34 degrees and 30 minutes, and side C is equal to 12.7 inches. So ito po yung ating illustration. So again, given po yung hypotenuse, which is side C, and that's 12.7 inches, and the angle A, which is one of the acute angles, so that's 34 degrees and 30 minutes. So yan po. So nanonood po pa rin po ang mga estudyante ni Ma'am Riza, ni Sir Chris, yours truly, Ma'am Grace, and Ma'am Joy. So thank you po sa mga estudyante po natin na nanonood po. So yung mga classmates po ninyo na grade 9, mga kaibigan niyo pong grade 9, baka po sila ay hindi pa po nakapanood po ng ating teleradyo po. Please tell them. Sumali na rin po sila dito po sa ating teleradyo. Okay. Now, for this, so again, the given will be the side C, which is 12.7 inches, and that's the hypotenuse. And the side A, the angle A is equal to 34 degrees and 30 minutes, which is the one of the acute angles. Now, so of course, the missing parts for this are the measure of angle B, the side A, and the side B. So this time, again, mga grade 9 learners, please, kayo naman po ang mag-try mag-solve. So let's try to answer this one by one. So first, ano kaya ang value ni angle B? So may I know from the learners po na nanonood po sa atin, mga malulenyo, mga grade 9 learners. So what will be the value of angle B? So let me see. So ano kaya ang isasagot po ng ating mga grade 9 learners po? Okay, so ayan po. So remember that, again mga anak, so sabi po natin kanina, so the two acute angles are complementary, which means their sum is equal to 90 degrees. So, let me see. So, ano kaya ang sagot natin sa ating value ni measure of angle R? So, ayan po. According to one of the grade 9 learners, ayan, may nagbigay na po ng sagot. Please don't forget, meron po tayong 30 minutes pa pong kasama, ha? So, the given is 34 degrees and 30 minutes. So, please don't forget to type the 30 minutes on your calculator po. Or, actually, pwede po naman natin isolve to manually. So, even without the use of calculator po, so kaya pa naman. Okay, so according to the learners, so the answer is 56 degrees. Again, please double check po ang ating calculator if baka po may kailangan tayong ayusin sa ating pong calcu. So you may type 90 degrees subtracted by, yan po, may nagbigay po ng tamang sagot, so, si Clarence Toralba. So according to him, the answer is 55 degrees and 30 minutes. So check po natin. Okay, very good po, Clarence. Tama po ang sagot niya. Okay, actually po mga grade 9 learners, so please double check po yung mga nagsagot po kanina 56 degrees. So I guess baka po meron lang po tayong hindi nakapindot po sa ating calculator kanina. Yan po, marami na pong nagbibigay ng sagot. So thank you po for the answer. Yan po siguro natutunan na po nila agad how to use their calculator properly. So thank you po Alessandra, Liza, Jelaine. So very good job, good job sa ating mga grade 9 learners. Talaga siguro pag masarap ang ating kinakaing almusal, talaga pong makapagsasagot po tayo agad. Okay, next. For the measure of angle A, side A. So what is the value of side A kaya? May I see from the grade 9 learners? Palakpakan po natin, by the way, yung mga nagbibigay ng tamang sagot, ha? Okay, palakpakan po natin sila. So what is the value of side A? So sabi natin dito, by looking at the illustration, side A is the opposite of the given angle. And again, side C is hypotenuse. So look, so from here, we can use the function with the acronym SO. And that sign opposite hypotenuse. So sige nga po, before I present the solution and the answer, may I know from the grade 9 learners po natin na nanonood po, so ano kaya ang value ni side A? So given that side C is 12.7 and the angle A is 34 degrees and 30 minutes. So yan po. So ang dami nga po nagpa-participate. So for those na nakapag-tatay po ng hindi tamang sagot, okay lang po yan. So sabi ko nga sa inyo, keep on trying. So it shows na talaga gusto po nating matuto. So hindi po lahat naman ay nadadaan sa madali agad eh. So ayan po. So according to some of the students, nagbibigay na po ng sagot. Okay, so yan. So according to them, so look, so using the acronym SO, so it will be sine is equal to opposite side over the hypotenuse. So replacing them by the given letters from the illustration, it will be sine theta is equal to A over C. Okay. So from here, yan po. So ano kaya ang sagot natin? So the answer will be, so to get the value of A, so we can have the formula A is equal to 12.7 multiplied by the sine of 34 degrees and 30 minutes. Okay. So the answer will be 7.19 inches. So yan po. So that's the value of side A. So very good po sa mga grade 9 learners po natin na nagbibigay po ng sagot. Yan po. So may nagbigay po ng tamang sagot. So thank you po. Yan, very good Alessandra, Nina, Christian Martin. Actually po dyan, mga grade 9 learners, of course, you may ask your teachers whether if you're going to use up to 2 decimal places po, but kasi there might be cases na baka mamaya si teacher natin ay kumaga para round up po sa atin sa mga nearest whole. So, because there might be some books, baka po kasi kayo po ay nag-advance reading na ibang libro, you might see na may mga authors na pinaparound po yung sagot sa nearest whole number, or sometimes may mga authors naman na hindi po pinaparound yung sagot. It depends upon the author of the book. So, as long as alam natin yung process, so it's very good na po. So very good po, CJ, Crystal, Lauren, and Christian. For those na hindi po nababasa yung name sa chat box, so sorry naman po, pero again, very appreciated po yung ating pagpa-participate. Same with Irish, Jillian, so thank you sa participation. And for the last missing part, okay, for the last missing part, so we have side B, which is the missing part po natin. And according to the figure, side B is the adjacent side of the given angle, and still side C is hypotenuse. So from here, for us to solve side B, we can use the function with the acronym CA, which stands for the cosine, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So again, so let me see if you really understand yung ating last example po. Yan po, may nagsagot po. According to Rain, that's 10.47. Let's check their work. Okay, very good po, Rain Mendoza. So answer is 10.47. Ayan, nagsagot po si Nina, si Christian. So very good po sa mga nagbibigay po ng tamang. Okay, so so you have it. We're done with the first situation po natin, given the hypotenuse and one acute angle. So before we proceed with the next one, again, please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Ang Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat malulenyo. So, yan po. Keep on commenting your answers. So, according to Eliza, Christian, Lorraine, CJ, Micah, Crystal, Gail, si Francine. So, yan po. According to them, the answer is 10.47. So, which is correct. Very good po talaga sa mga grade 9 learners po natin. Sabi nga natin kanina, siguro, masarap talaga ang almusal po ng ating mga estudyante po natin for today. Okay, let's have the next situation. This time, it will be solving right triangles, but given the length of one of the legs and measure of the acute angle. Yan po, kanina, the given side is hypotenuse, but this time, the given side will be one of the legs. So, let's look how to solve this. So from this illustration po, again, still given a triangle ABC. So this time, the right triangle ABC with B as a right angle has segment AB as one of its legs and the angle C as one of its acute angles. So yun po ang given ha. Aside from angle P, so which is the right angle, so the other given are the segment AB, which is one of the legs, and the side C, which is one of the acute angles. Excuse me po. So what will be the missing parts? So the missing parts for this will be the segment AC, the segment BC, and the angle A. Again, the missing parts are the segment AC, the segment BC, and the angle A. Okay, so again, please don't forget, para po mas madali po natin matandaan, remember that there are 3 sides and 3 angles po ang isang triangle. So for this situation, so from the 3 sides, the given side is sa segment AB, and that's one of the legs. And look at the table, which means the missing sides are the hypotenuse and one of the legs, which is which are the segment AC and segment BC respectively. And from the 3 angles, sabi nga natin, angle B is already given because that's the right angle, and angle C is one of the acute angles, which means the missing part from the angles is the angle A. So from this situation, the missing parts are the hypotenuse, one of the legs, and one of the acute angle. Okay, so there you have it. So ito po yung isosolve po natin for today, for this next situation, for this next case. So we're going to identify how to solve the hypotenuse, one of the legs, and one acute angle for this second situation po natin. So, let's have this example po. So, find the value of the missing parts of the right triangle DEW. And look at this illustration. Again, what are the missing parts of the right triangle DEW? And based on the illustration, angle E is already given since it's equal to 90 degrees. That's the right angle already. Okay. So the given parts aside from angle E are the side D, which is 2060, which is equal to 26 units. That's one leg. And the measure of angle D, which is equal to 32 degrees, and that's an acute angle. So which means, sabi nga natin, ang missing parts dito ay one acute angle, one leg, and hypotenuse. So ano po yung mga to dito? So the missing parts will be the measure of angle W, that's the acute angle po. Of course, the one leg is side W, and the hypotenuse is side E. Okay, thank you for the answers po. Yan po. So as you can see, mga grade 9 learners, especially mga nanonood po sa ating Facebook. So some of the learners are giving us the answers. DE, DW. Okay, so please don't forget that we can represent the given side using a small letter depending on the angle opposite of that side. Okay, so hindi po mali yung mga sinasagot po nating mga grade 9 learners na instead of side W, ang binibigay po nila ay segment DE. Instead na side E, ang binibigay po nila sa ating chat box is side DW. So there, you are correct pa rin po. So hindi po yun mali ang mga grade 9 learners ha. So wag po tayo sana malito. So remember na ituro naman po sa atin to ng mga teachers natin on the last meeting. Sabi po di ba natin doon? So we can use small letters to represent the side. But of course, we cannot use small letters to represent the angles. So sa angles, laging big letters po tayo. Yan po, may nagbigay na agad ng sagot po. Okay. So let's solve them one by one once again. So for the angle W, so ano kaya ang value ng angle W natin? Remember, sabi nga natin, just like on the previous case natin kanina, that the two acute angles are complementary. Yan po, may nagbigay po si Lorin Biloria. So according to her, so ang sagot po niya ay 58 degrees. So let's check. So tama po ang sagot ni angle W is 58 degrees. Very good po, Lorin, Christian. Because since the sum of angle D and angle W is equal to 90 degrees, so therefore for us to get the measure of angle W, we can subtract the measure of angle D, which is 32 degrees, from 90 degrees for us to have the 58 degrees. So very good po, Irish, Nina, Crystal, Alessandra, Yves, Eliza. Yan po. So thank you for the participation. Keep on typing, keep on answering the questions. So para po makita po din ng mga teachers natin, para po mahawa yung ating mga ibang grade 9 learners. Ay, gusto ko ring makita yung pangalan ko sa chat box. Yan po. So for those na hindi pa po nakapag-comment ng sagot, so ma-experience po natin at maging proud po tayo sa sarili natin na makita po ang ating pangalan na nasa ating pong chat box po. Okay? Whether ano man ang mga tama man o mali ang sagot natin, but of course sana tama, pero kung kahit man mali, still at least makita po natin na tayo ay interesado pong matuto. Okay, so let's continue. Now for us, answer side W. Yan po. May nagbigay na po ng sagot na side W according to them. The answer is 41.61. So that's according to Crystal, Irish, Christian, Nina, and Irish. Again, Irish lang pala yung pangalawa. So let's check. So from here, so side W is the adjacent side of angle D. And side D is the opposite. So therefore, this time, the function that we must use for us to get or to solve for the side W is yung may acronym po TOA. Since ang gagamitin po natin ay adjacent and opposite. And TOA stands for tangent, opposite, adjacent. And look at this formula. That's tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. So replacing them by tangent D, which is a given, is equal to side D over side W. And then that's equal to tangent 32 degrees is equal to 26 over W. So using properties of equality, we can derive the formula for the W, which is W is equal to 26 divided by tangent 32 degrees. So with the help of your calculator po, so tama po ang mga grade 9 learners natin. The answer is 41.61 units. Okay, so that's correct. So palakpakan po natin ulit ang ating mga grade 9 learners. So yan po. Sana po mamaya po sa mga bandang gitna nating lessons or pag nagtagal-tagal po tayo, sana po may mga makita tayong names aside from these students po na nagtatype po ng kanilang answers. But for those na nagpa-participate, you may continue. Please continue po para po maingganyo po natin ang ating mga ibang malulenyo at ibang mga delpidarians so sa pagsagot. Okay, for the last missing part, find side E. Yan, may nagbigay na po agad ng sagot even na hindi pa po naibibigay yung na-represent yung solution sa ating PowerPoint. Thank you for the answer, Crystal. So according to her, that's 49.06. Check po natin kung tama. So this time, so for us to solve side E, remember that side E is the hypotenuse. And the given side is side D, which is the opposite. So ano yung hypotenuse at may opposite sa tatlong functions natin na pinagpipilian? And that is so, which stands for the sine, opposite, hypotenuse. So from here, so we can have sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse and replacing theta by D, angle D, replacing the opposite and hypotenuse by D over E respectively. So we can now have sine 32 degrees is equal to 26 over E. Okay, so from here, so the answer will be 26 over sine 32 degrees. Once again, with the help of the calculator po, so side E will be equal to 49.06 po. So very good po sa mga nagbibigay po ng sagot. Palakpakan po natin yung ating mga classmates, friends na nagbibigay po ng sagot. I know ang mga estudyante, ang mga teachers ninyo, advisors and math teachers po ninyo, so they are very proud because nakikita nila na yung mga estudyante po nila ay sumasagot po sa teleradyo. So kahit hindi niyo po na itatype lagi yung pangalan nila, so ang mga teachers madalas sa mga ganyang simpleng bagay na makita po namin yung mga students po namin na natututo, so malaking kaligayahan na po sa mga teachers yan. Okay, so once again, so please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel po and Facebook page, ang Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat malulenyo. So there you have it. We're done with sa ating pong second situation po. So next natin. So let's have this activity number 2. So let's keep on practicing. So sabi nga nila, practice makes perfect. So before that, bago po tayo magpatuloy, so shout out lang po sa mga nanonood po ng mga kaibigan, especially po sa aking mag-ina po dito sa bahay. Shout out lang po sa aking baby, sa Aya Marlina Chensa, and sa aking pong magandang misis, si Ma'am Gemalina Chensa po. At sa pamangkin ko rin pong nanonood po dito, si Yuan Carl Ezekiel. Okay, so let's keep on practicing po. Okay. So, here's the direction. Write through if the indicated trigonometric ratio is appropriate to solve x in each right triangle. And write false if it does not match. So it's very simple. You write true if the given or indicated function or ratio is the best ratio or the appropriate formula po para gamitin to solve for x. But if not, first let's write the word false. So this time that's true or false only. So dito po natin mare-recall if we really understand kung bakit ba so katowa ang ating ginagamit on every function. Okay, let's have the first one. Okay, so from this illustration, so given the sides 21, side 21 and the angle which is 30 degrees. So according to this illustration, TOA daw yung gagamitin natin. Is it true or false? Are we going to use TOA in this problem po? Again, I'm not asking for the value of x class. Please take note of that. So I'm just asking whether if you really understand kung paano po tayo pumipili ng functions. Kasi kanina pa natin dinidiscuss, pero baka mamaya kaya po may ibang grade ng learners tayo na hindi agad nagbibigay ng sagot because baka medyo nahihirapan pa po ng konti sa pagpili sa SOCA-TOA. So according to Alessandra, Nina, the answer is false according to Alessandra. For Nina naman po, that's true. Remember, TOA stands for tangent, opposite, adjacent. Is the side with 21 units ay opposite ba or adjacent? So according to them, that's true daw. So but according to Alessandra, that's false. Okay, yan po, marami nagsasagot ng true. Mga anak, check po natin. Yung x ba ay adjacent or hypotenuse or opposite of the given 30 degrees, 33 degrees. And yung 21 ba ay opposite, hypotenuse, or adjacent din. So according to your classmates, according to Alessandra po, talagang pinanandigan niya, the answer is false daw. Check po natin. The correct answer is false. Very good. Bakit po naging false? Ito po yung paliwanag para po maliwanagan po talaga ng ating mga learners na nanonood po. Okay, remember that, nawala ko. Remember that the given leg is the opposite of 33 degrees. So please take note yung 21 po ay opposite side ng angle with 33 degrees na measurement. And side x is the hypotenuse, which means ang may opposite at hypotenuse po ay yung sa SOCA-TOA yung so. That's sine, opposite, hypotenuse. So thank you po for the answer po, Ives and Alessandra. Yung ibang nagsagot po natin, so yan po, very good po. So very good po kay Alessandra, may paliwanag din po siya sa kanyang chat box. So talaga pong it means lang na talagang alam niya yung pagpili po ng function. So again, thank you po Alessandra for that. Saludo po tayo dyan. Okay, let's have next item. This time, again, so given the right triangle po na one of the rectangles is 46 degrees ang measurement, may isang side na 29 po ang measurement, at of course yung isa yung side po na x ang given po. Now, according to the illustration, TOA daw yung gagamitin natin and that's tangent daw. Is it true or false? Mga grade 9 learners. Okay, according to Lorraine, that's true. Kay Nina, that's also true. Kay Junel, that's true daw. Kay Kirsten, that's true. Ayan po, puro, ayan po, at least pare-pare sa yung sagot nilang true. Kay Ves, Cristal, Alessandra po ay true ulit. Let's check if the answer is correct. Okay, very good po. Ang sagot po ay true. Okay, tama po. So the answer is true. So again, bakit kaya true? Para po mas matutunan po ng ating mga grade 9 learners, mga malulenyo. So the given sides are what? The legs. So remember po, ang given pong size dito yung 29 po at yung missing na x ay legs po ng right triangle, which means ang gagamitin po natin ay TOA. And it's tangent, opposite, adjacent. Yan po. So yan po. Very good po sa anak po ni Ma'am Joy. So talaga pong made with explanation po. Talagang malaking kaligayahan po ang naibibigay po ng mga ganyang simple things so sa ating mga teachers. So please continue po sa pagsasagot. Dahil dyan, as yung proud na proud po ang mga teachers po ninyo. So let's have the third. This time, given the function or given this illustration na ang side ay 15, o may side po na 15, and then one of the rectangles is 21 degrees. So ano kaya ang gagamiting function? Tama ba na ka? Is it cosine, adjacent, hypotenuse po kaya? Okay, is it true or false? According to Nina, again, that's true. Nina po, sabi ay true. Who else? So welcome po sa mga nanonood po. May mga nanonood po na may pumapasok na bago. Kay Jonel, that's true. Same with Princess, Jonathan, and Kirsten, Crystal. So according to them, that's true. Let's check po. Okay, the correct answer is true. Very good po tayo. So bakit uli naging true? Pakita po natin. Okay. So according to Abigail, Liza, Irish, Micah, Alessandra. So tama po kayo na puro true. Yan. So yung given leg is the side adjacent to 21. Yung 15 po, yung side na ang sukat ay 15 is adjacent of 21 degrees. At yung hinahanap o yung sinasolve nating x is the hypotenuse. Which means, ano yung may adjacent at hypotenuse? So tama pong ka, which stands for the cosine, adjacent, at hypotenuse. Okay, so dahil dyan, palakpakan po natin ulit ang ating mga grade 9 learners sa pagbibigay po ng tamang sagot. So there you have it. Natapos po natin yung first and second cases po natin for today, which is the given hypotenuse and one of the legs, one of the rectangles. The second case is given one of the legs and one of the rectangles. So before we proceed with the last situation for today, so again, sabi nga nila, gamot po sa kalimot ay paalala. So please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat malulenyo. So for the last situation natin for today's episode, this time, solving right triangles given the length of the two legs. Okay. So given po yung two legs po natin. So again, look at this illustration. Given the triangle ABC with the triangle B, with angle B as a right angle. Yan po. So the two legs are the side AB and the side BC. Po. Ito So the right triangle ABC po, sabi nga natin, has two legs with AB and BC. So what are the missing parts once again? So the missing parts are the segment AC, which is the hypotenuse, and the two acute angles, which are the angle C and angle A. So again, for us to see po na mas malinaw po ito, so from the table, from the three sides, sabi nga natin, the given sides are the legs. So kaya nga sabi natin kanina, hypotenuse po yung missing. And then from three angles, so ang given lang po ay yung right angle, which is angle B, which means the missing parts are angle A and angle C doon po sa ating triangles. So in this case, the missing parts are the hypotenuse and the two acute angles. So ito po yung missing parts sa ating third case. So very good po, Crystal Gale, sa pagsasabi po ng sagot. Same with Micah, Aliana. Okay. So yan po, binabati ko po ang ating mga kapwa math teachers, so ang aking mga kasamahan po sa math department sa panunod sa panunod din po. So yan po, proud na proud po ang mga kasamahan po nating math teachers, ang advisors, so dahil nakikita po nilang nanonood po at very active ang kanilang mga estudyante. Okay, let's have this example. So find the measurement of the missing parts of the right triangle TIE. Yan po, yan nga yung triangle, TIE. Where angle I is hypotenuse. And look at the given sides. So we have 11.6, which is the value of side E. And we have the 9.2, which is the value of side T. Okay. So again, remember po, kasi so, sa mga kapapasok lang po sa ating teleradyo, you might be confused. Bakit yung mga nag-chat sa teleradyo po natin, segment po ang binibigay sa missing parts. Pero sa illustration po natin ay small letters. Please don't forget. So yung binibigay po ng mga estudyante po natin na, for example po, yung segment TI, that's same with side E. Yung segment IE, that's also equal to side T. And the segment TE is also equal to side I. It's because of the angles opposite them. So tandaan po natin Yan po, si Alessandra nagbigay na po ng sagot na 14.81. So very good po. So the missing the given parts aside from angle I ay side E and side T. So, and then the missing parts will be the side I, which is the hypotenuse, and the angles T and E, which are the two acute angles. So for us to find the side I, so kung mapapansin nyo, unlike on the first two cases natin kanina, the first missing part, sinol po natin were actually the angles. But this time, it will be the side I. So anyway po, it depends upon the person who are going to solve this. Alin po sa kanya yung mas madaling isolve ng mauna. So for me, on my personal procedure, it would be better po for me to solve for the missing side muna. But anyway po, it's up to the person na magsosolve po niyan. Now, for me to solve side I, sabi po dito, since the two sides of a triangle are already given, so pwede po natin gamitin yung isa po sa mga lessons na natutunan po natin from the third quarter, which is the Pythagorean theorem, for us to find hypotenuse. So from here, remember that since I is hypotenuse, therefore, we can have the formula of the square of I is equal to the sum of the squares of E and T. Since the legs are E and T respectively. Again, the square of side I, which is I squared, is equal to the sum of the squares of side E and T. And from here, ang sagot nga po ng ating mga estudyante ay 14.81. Palakpakan po natin yung sila Alessandra, sila Liza Sorio. Palakpakan po natin yung mga iba po na nagbibigay po ng sagot for the value of side I. So for that, again, thank you so much po and continue po sa pagpa-participate pa rin. Okay, next. This time, for us to solve angle T. Okay. So as you can see, it's different from the procedure na ginawa po natin from solving the angles from the two previous cases. Okay po. Okay po. We're almost done na po. Sige po. So, yan po. So, from here, ang gagamitin po natin ay TOA. So, that's opposite over adjacent. So, the value of the angle T will be equal to 38 degrees and 42 minutes. Look, so we replace side T and side E by 9.2 and 11.6. So, dito po natin gagamitin yung inverse trigonometric function natin. So, dito po natin gagamitin yung, so from here, yung tangent E is equal to 0.79331. So, you're going to press shift tangent, then 0.7931. And then press the equal sign and the degree minute key. So, you'll see yung sagot po na 38 degrees, 42 minutes. Okay. Now, so there you have it. So let's have the last. Now, for us to solve side E. So, sir, can we use the procedure po nung sa complementary angles? Actually, it could be yes. But again, if for me, personal advice so if I were po, wag na muna. Pero kasi, the problem is, what if mali po or may konting error yung nakuha natin from the previous procedure? So, damay na po ito. So, for me po, it will be advisable to use a function to solve for the value of the two angles dito sa third situation po natin. Yan po. And from here, ang gagamitin po natin ay TOA. Since, again, opposite at adjacent pa rin po yung given. So, is it the same with the previous one? Makita po yung difference ngayon. Look. Yan po, may nagbibigay na po ng sagot. So, according to Crystal, ang sagot daw ay 51 and 35. So, check po natin. Yan. The correct answer is, tama po. That's 51.58 degrees or 51 degrees and 35 minutes. So, tama po ang sagot ng ating mga estudyante. So, look at the difference. Kung kanina, that's T over E. This time, that's E over T. Since ang hinahanap po natin ay angle E. So there you have it, mga grade 9 learners. So please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel po uli at Facebook page, Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat malulenyo. So for the third activity po natin, again, look, complete lang po natin. Complete a table by writing the equation to find the missing angles. Okay. So look at this illustration. Yan po, para po makita po natin. So ano kaya yung pinaka-formula natin? Kung kanina, ang in-identify natin, SOHCAHTOA TOA lang, but this time tuloy po natin. After identifying whether that's SOHCAHTOA TOA, palitan po natin sila ng values for us to form the really ano po, understand po yung ating ano na kanina. Okay po, so let's have the so let's have this next. So ito po yung ating first example. Ayan po, meron na po tayong kumaga pattern. So if we're going to solve for the angle B, so look, since the measure given sides are 15 and 9.7, which are the legs, so therefore, ang gagamitin po natin ay tangent or TOA. And it will be tangent B is equal to 9.7 over 15. So yan po. Ano kaya ang ating gagamitin kung ang ating pong missing angle ay side T? Angle T. So if the missing angle is T, ito naman po ating formula or equation. It will be tangent T is equal to 15 over 9.7. So look at the difference of the two. So since we are using or we are solving two different angles, so kaya po magkaiba po yung ating fractions. Now, and for the last two problems so natin dito, so we have angle G. So look at the illustration on your right side naman po. So from here, ang gagamitin po natin is tangent G is equal to 53 over 29. Since 53 po yung side opposite ng G at yung 29 po ang ating adjacent. While for the angle N naman, it will be the what? Reciprocal naman po nun. And that's 29 over 53. Since 29 naman po ang ating opposite side at ang ating 53 naman po ang ating adjacent side. Okay, there you have it. So, we're done discussing po yung first, second, and third cases po natin. So, Del Pilarian, sana po natutunan po natin ang ating pong discussion for today. So, let me check nga if you really understand. Kindly comment a heart sa ating pong chat box. So, if you really understand yung ating discussion for the whole meeting. Yan po. Pwede po bang mag-comment po tayo ng heart? Okay, for the last activity po natin, so this time, multiple choices po ulit. Multiple type of test po ulit. Okay. So look, which of the following is not a missing part of the given right triangle? Is it A, angle A, B, angle B, C, side AB, or segment AB, or D, segment AC. A, B, or C, pili na po tayo. So, we're almost done. Ayan, patapos na po tayo sa mga kasama ko po sa teleradyo po. So, sorry po if medyo matagal po ang aking discussion. Napasarap po siguro ang aking pagsasalita. Okay, yan po. So, the answer is B, according to Nina. Yan. So, according to Alessandra naman po, that's A. So again, alin po yung hindi po missing part ha? So according to Red na Sela, first 10 is that A. Check po natin. Very good po kayo. A po yung hindi missing part since yung po ay isa sa mga given po kasi may 90 degrees na po sila. Let's have the second question. Which trigonometric ratio is applicable to use to find the length of segment AB? Is it A, sine, B, cosine, C, tangent, or D, secant? A, B, C, or D? Pili na po tayo. Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? Sige po. Yan po. So thank you po for the participation. So according to Alessandra, again, that's A. Sabi niya. Same with Kirsten. Check po natin if tama ang sagot nila. Very good po. The answer is A. Since the given parts are the 15, which is the hypotenuse, and the missing side nga po is AB, which is the opposite. So very good po sa mga nagpa-participate natin. Yan po, si Abigail, si Micah, si Irene, Jalaine, si Ives, Red na Sala. So yan po. It seems na may mga bagong pangalan po na lumalabas po sa ating ating chat box. Very good po para doon. For the third item po, which trigonometric ratio should be used to find the length of segment FG? Is it A, sine, B, cosine, C, tangent, or D, cosecant? So again, pili na po tayo ha. Look, given that side with the 51 na sukat na measurement po and the angle po natin na 73 degrees. So that's A, B, C, or D. Pili na po tayo. So according to some of the grade 9 learners, may sagot na po sila. That's letter C daw. According to Alessandra Junel. So according to them, that's C. Okay, check po natin. Very good po. That's letter C, tangent. Since ang missing po na FG is the opposite and the given side is 51 degrees. So palakpakan po natin yung mga nagbibigay po ng sagot po. Okay, for the fourth, second to the last question po natin. What's the length of FG? So since alam na po natin na tangent ang gagamitin, this time let's solve for its value. Is it A, 166.81, B, 152.13, C, 94.04, or D, 107.36? A, B, C, or D? Pili na po tayo. Again, so what's the value of segment FG? So yan po. So according to some of the grade 9 learners po natin, so yan po, nagbibigay na po sila ng kanilang sagot. Okay, so let me see if ano po sagot nila. So according to April, the answer is C. According to Crystal, that's also C. Kay Irish po. Opo. Okay, so thank you po sa update po, Ma'am Hilda. Yan po, patapos na po ako. Thank you po. Okay, check po natin ang sagot ha. So it will be tangent 73 degrees. So multiplied to 51 po ha. So the answer is A. That's 166.81. So yan po. And for the last question, okay, so which of the following is an incorrect formula po for the missing side? Okay, so that's A, B, C, or D. Okay, so for here po, para po kasi may next pa po tayong teleradyo. The answer is letter C. So yan po yung ating incorrect formula po dyan. So for more activities po mga grade 9 learners, so you may answer the assessment or may ask your respective subject teachers. So I would like to thank po yung production team ng aming department. Of course, yours truly po. Ako po si Sir Marna Tienza, your teacher na romantiko na, broadcaster pa. So aking mga kasama po na si Ma'am Clarissa Fabon, si Sir Renate Fernando, Ma'am Grace, ang aming scriptwriter po, and of course, ang ating pong Dr. Marco Ronel Eusebio as our department head for the mathematics department. And definitely, I would like to thank then po ating forever young, ang ating pong principal, si Dr. Maria Victoria Bibo po. So for the support po niya sa atin. And for the last and definitely not the least, ang ating pong technical and support teams ng ating Teleradyo Marcelo headed by Sir Pawi de Guzman. Okay. So before po ako magtapos, I would like to end up my discussion po with this. According to Reverend Father Joseph Fidel Araura, ang oras ay hindi naman talaga kulang. Sadyang hindi ka lang naglalaan. So yan po. So ulit po sabi po ni Father Fidel, ang oras ay hindi naman talaga kulang. So kaya po wag tayo magsasabi na kulang ako sa oras. Ang sabi po niya, sadya lang kung hindi tayo naglalaan ng oras so para sa ibang bagay. For that, again, I would like to congratulate po lahat ng grade 9 learners sa panunod po, and I would like to thank everyone sa pagpa-participate. So once again, grade 9 po, ako po ang inyong teacher romantico, broadcaster pa. So Sir Marlon Atienza po. So nagpapasalamat po. Bye-bye and keep safe po sa ating lahat.
Teleradyo is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa Teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow. bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa Teleradyo.
Makinig, manood na sa Teleradyo. Makinig, manood na sa Teleradyo. Teleradyo, Teleradyo Marcelo.